It's the mid-1940s, and having not long come out of a bit of a disagreement with Germany and its associates, we had no money, and half the country had been bombed the shit out of. The result was that there was a housing shortage, and that needed resolving quickly, so the government came up with the New Towns Act of 1946. Basically, they were looking to plan and build several new towns across the country to provide the much-needed housing, but without spending a lot of money. The new towns were seen as an opportunity to start afresh and create something truly magical, the likes of which have never been seen before, and they came up with Stevenage. Fast forward to the present day, and demand for housing is at an all-time high, so what's the solution? Well, you build new towns, of course, just like they did back in the day. Okay, maybe not like that. Scotland is no stranger to the concept of a new town. Cumbernauld, Livingston and Irvine were all born out of the 1946 New Town Act, and it seems that today there are similar plans underway, but rather than create something from scratch, they're extending a village beyond all recognition. Winchburg is a small village 10 miles to the west of Edinburgh that's existed for 1,000 years. Or it was. It's now the site of a new pioneering town-building project development concept thing known as a 20-minute neighbourhood, a new and exciting marketing term that's applied to new towns. The idea is to build new housing in towns in such a way that would give people the ability to meet their daily requirements within a short cycle or walk. Short seems to have been determined as about a half a mile. It's not clear as to how these 20-minute neighbourhoods are going to work out, as it's a new approach to town building, but the theory is that residents will use their cars a lot less, and indeed the infrastructure will be designed in such a way to discourage their use. For Winchburg, it'll all mean a change from a quiet ancient village to a busy town. The population is currently at around 2,400, but the plan is to increase this to 14,000 over the next decade. Fortunately, developers have had the foresight, or perhaps more accurately, they had no choice but to install some of the key infrastructure well in advance, which has led to the construction of Junction 1B on the M9 motorway. This might seem silly for a town plan that's trying to discourage car use, and it is, but let's not worry about such details. The M9 motorway passes right alongside the in-progress new town, and your nearest junction options are Junction 1, which is an absolute nightmare in rush hour, or Junction 2, which is missing a set of its slip roads, so what's the point? The solution, of course, to the soon-to-increase traffic levels is to build a new motorway junction to serve the new town. The new motorway junction cost around £40 million to build, and to make life easier they made use of an existing underpass, simply widening it to the desired width. Added onto this is a roundabout at each end where the motorway slip roads would terminate. It's a simple yet effective design, sometimes referred to as a dumbbell layout, and unlike Junction 2, it's got access in all directions. According to the Winchburg New Town Plan, there will be commercial or employment areas built next to the motorway, along with a park and ride. And that makes a lot of sense, actually. One will be able to come off the motorway, park at the park and ride, and get the bus into town rather than driving. Assuming they build the park and ride, of course, there's still plenty of time for project cancellations due to funding. They've already backed out of building the promised railway station, so never say never. However, cancellations or not, they've already completed the new motorway junction, which opened in 2023. Planning permission for the junction in Newtown was granted in around 2012, a condition of which was that until the M9 junction was built, no more than 1,000 houses were allowed to be occupied or sold, which is far less than the 3,800 developers intend on building. So it was in the interest of their profits to get the motorway junction completed as quickly as possible. Now it's done, developers can focus on selling houses and wriggling out of their obligations to build things like schools, public transport connections and health centres. What am I saying? That won't happen. To be fair, the new motorway junction does make life easier for residents in the area. When the M8 and M9 motorways were constructed in the 60s and 70s, much of the surrounding road network was forgotten about. Even before the new town was announced, Winchburg and its surrounding villages were probably already beginning to outgrow the road network. It'll be interesting to see how things go over the next decade. Once the town of Winchburg grows to a population of 14,000, will the simple dumbbell layout Junction 1B be able to handle the traffic? Maybe the 20-minute neighbourhood concept works and everybody walks. Who knows? Thanks for watching.